Do you want to know how you can turn $100 into $5,470 with Terra Luna Classic? Or do you want to know what it would take to earn $100 of passive income every single day from Terra Luna Classic? Let's dive into what this would actually take to make this a reality. As you can see right now, Terra Luna Classic is sitting at a fraction of a penny, and this is where I want to start our conversation is, what if we could actually get Terra Luna Classic to equal 1 cent? Now, before we talk about what would actually need to be done to make that possible, let's talk about why that is such an important goal and what that would actually mean potentially for you as a Terra Luna Classic holder. We can see very clearly the difference between the current price and 1 cent is a multiple of over 54 times the value. This is not a 54% gain. This is 54x the value. In other terms, that translates to over 5,470% gains, which is insane to be able to actually make possible. Hopefully, we can actually do this in the next couple of years. Now, that kind of gain potential is unmatched when you look at the stock market or things like that. There's very, very few examples that you could pull that could earn that kind of yield in under 10 years. And that's really our goal here, is to get this massive price increase in the next couple of years, hopefully 2 to 3, but realistically, probably 5 to 8 years. If you just invested $100 into Terra Luna Classic and we were able to hit 1 cent, then you would end up turning that value into $5,470. If we can compare this to the traditional markets, you're talking about instead your value, again, if this is a 5 to 10 year situation, you'd be looking at anywhere from like $150 to $200, not thousands of dollars off of your $100 investment. And you might also be wondering, okay, what does that mean as far as daily yield potential? And this is where things start to get really interesting as well. Right now, $100 staked, and right now, let's assume about a 16% yield annually. When we break that down to a daily basis, you're looking at 4 cents off your $100, which is not at all very much. But once that value actually increases dramatically, that 16%, suddenly becomes a couple dollars a day, which is still not great. But as we get into these further examples here, it's going to become a really significant amount of money every single day of passive income. Also, if you ended up looking at this in the terms of, let's say we hit Terra Luna Classic to $1, like a lot of people talk about and hope for, that's 100x this. And so instead of $2 a day, be looking at $240 every single day of passive income if we hit $1, which is quite a ways off. So let's focus back on 1 cent here with some other examples. According to some polls I ran, a lot of you hold about $1,000 of Terra Luna Classic. So if you have $1,000 right now and we can hit 1 cent, what does that make your total value? Well, that makes your total value over $54,000. Now we're starting to talk some really significant money here. Your current invested amount is probably making about 40 to 50 cents every single day of Terra Luna Classic. But if we end up going to 1 cent, you'd be making over $20 every single day. That's enough to go out and buy food. Well, in a couple of years, maybe it'd only buy 1 meal, but right now that's enough to be able to actually go out, go to a fast food restaurant and get 2 or 3 meals potentially. If you want to know what it would take to earn just over $100 a day of Terra Luna Classic, assuming we can hit 1 cent, well, let's look back at this. We would need to invest roughly $4,500. That would then turn into over $200,000, and that would earn you over $100 a day of passive income just from holding and staking your Terra Luna Classic. And so this probably sounds great. Who doesn't want to earn $20 or $100 a day of passive income? But let's start talking about what would actually take to make this a possibility. And you might think this is possible because of our Terra Luna Classic burns, but unfortunately right now our burn amount is so little. We're only burning about 150 million Terra Luna Classic per day, which might sound a lot compared to your holdings, but in total, this is a very small percentage of the total supply. This would take so long just to burn through 1%. We haven't even gotten close to burning 1% actually. If we go back to the data page, you guys can see this at burnandbuild.org, by the way, if you want to see all this amazing data that we provide. But you can actually click here and we can see, we go to the total burn percent. We're just over 0.5% of the Terra Luna Classic supply has been burned total since we started doing Terra Luna Classic burn months ago. So every single day you're burning less than 0.01% of the total supply. It's insignificant. And so clearly the burns are just not going to get us there to be able to hit Terra Luna Classic to 1 cent, at least not just on their own. And this is where there's a couple other factors that come into play. And if you guys want to learn about what those other factors are, check out this video up here so you can learn about things such as market cap and different utilities that could be coming into Terra Luna Classic to over 10x this burn amount.